Okay, so building a kayak. What we're going to be doing is building a skin-on-frame kayak. So the idea is just build a skeleton of it, and then wrap that using nylon, or you can do other things, polyester, some go to clear PVC. The whole boat goes together in a pretty traditional and simple manner that's done with pegs, holding things together, and everything's lashed. Yeah. So what Max is doing here is just putting together sawhorses that the kayak will be built on. And the purpose of this was, one, you have to have something that is level both ends. The kayak's built on a nice flat plane, and it allows for a little bit of familiarity with the construction. Everything is pretty much going to be done using these hand tools you see here. These are little Japanese pull saws. And that's the beginning. So over here we have actually the majority of the lumber. Most of the frame of the boat will come from one of these 12 by 1 by 16 foot boards. They get sawed down into, these are guns. So
Okay.
Oh, you're fine. So you start out with two of these, and these are just solid mesh. And ideally they have a pretty similar bend to them. So this one could probably be limbered up a little bit more. But you flip them together like that, and you take some measurements off of your body. So, and actually that's probably something we're going to be trying to get to later today, is that sit on a board, and actually follow me over here real quick. As you could video my terrible lack of artistic talent. This is roughly the way that you take measurements from your body and transfer them to the kayak, so that each kayak is fitted to the individual builder. You sit on a board that balances, so you can figure out where your center of gravity is, and then so you have a little back brace. It's going to be kind of right behind you. The mazic goes right behind your kneecap, and so you kind of brace yourself and hold yourself into the boat. You have a few other deck beams, and these are the things that spread those two things apart and define its width, its beam. So you take all these measurements and then transfer them over to the two gunnels, and that's kind of where your starting measurements for your deck beams is. And then you join the ends together, and then you actually just spread the beams, the gunnels apart with the deck beams. Just like Max is doing, we'll drill holes, run dowels in there, and that'll hold the deck beams in, put the dowels in, kind of line everything up, and we'll lash them with nylon. It's actually just mason's twine, just that basic nylon 3-strand twine you can find in the stores. So that'll do the top part of that.
No glue.
No glue. The lack of glue actually allows it to be a little bit flexible when you're moving through the waves in these boats, rather than like with a fiberglass hull or something where it'll chop and kind of bang through waves. This will actually allow the boat to flex as it goes through the waves. This is a picture of one of these, the top frame completed, to give you guys an idea of kind of what we're talking about. It's going to pass it around.
Yeah.
So that kind of shows you how that develops. One of these can, in theory, be built in about 9 full days of work. We've scheduled about 78 hours worth of class time here, and it should be a lot of fun. We'll get every class member will go home with a boat. It'll be about 16, 17 feet long. Apparently, if you want to get really into the anthropometric measurements, you measure your arm span. 3 times that minus about 16 inches is how long your boat should be to really be fitted to you. We'll probably just stick with using those the length of those boards there, and doing that out. On the bottom of the deck beams, so you flip the whole thing over, we'll a couple of mortises with a router and install steam bent ribs that will define the bottom stringers. So,
steam box here?
I'm gonna make.
Okay.
They're actually quite easy to make and put together. There are a bunch of different ways. The ones I've made in the past have just been 2 sheets of plywood, kind of, because you don't want it to be much bigger than the stuff you're going to be steaming.
Okay.
So it's just a little bit taller than the pieces are wide, and enough to fit a few of them in next to each other. When you actually go to steaming it, you just basically cut a big hole in the bottom of the steam box and set it over a pot of boiling water. Is one of the simpler ways that I've found. You can also set it up with kind of the big like gas cans and run radiator hose up to it. But a real simple and easy way that worked fine for me last time was to, and again, actually, I assembled it using the peg construction. Didn't even really need to lash it, because what you do is you drill the hole just a little bit smaller than the dowel you're running into it,
Okay.
so it gets a nice friction fit in there. And yeah, the ribs will be, actually they'll be coming from New Hampshire,
Oh, cool.
Andover-ish area. They'll probably be have some friends up there who are milling up one of those, and they're about 1/4 inch thick, 3/4 inch ish wide, and so they only take about 4 minutes or so in the steam box to get real pliable. And with these, it's preferable to, because if you have a real round bottom, it's kind of like sitting in a log. You have a very narrow range where you're stable. But if it kind of starts out flat and then curves up, you have a much wider range where you can kind of recover stability. So it's better for kind of intermediate novice. You would have a much flatter boat. It also allows you to have a shallower draft. So the way you bend these is actually against your stomach. You take them and hand and kind of figure out where you want your maximum bends to be. Just kind of push it against your stomach and bend it out like that. And so you get a nice.
Flat.
Yep. So yeah, that's the way that goes. These are original. These are West Greenland style kayaks. They were designed this way because they didn't have a lot of lumber, but they did have things like seal skins where they could cover things with. So they mostly relied on driftwood, and that's why you get the skin on frame construction method. You guys have any questions?
So you teach a class on that here, huh?
Yes.
Cool. Very cool.
Yes, and that's this is Artisan Asylum. It supports all sorts of different projects, and
Yeah, what other?
yeah, so the kayak class is really very, very small kind of side note to it. You'll see you've got the wood shop here. They have lots of great high quality tools. In the center there, they have electronics, and actually, if you guys want to walk,
Wow.
you can.
Well, appreciate you
This
taking a little
is
time.
a.
Yeah, totally.
You good, Max?
Yeah.
So this is just recently, I've actually helped a guy work on this. This is a CNC router that we put together. This fellow could probably tell you a lot more about
Damn.
it. Right. So that was guy. Do you remember what Drew's thing was? Wasn't he like an industrial design major, and he kind of did this as his abroad project, and he's going to come back and do CNC production type stuff?
Yeah, he's in his senior year of industrial design, and so he had a semester here. Yep.
So back here, you can rent actual workspace. Kind of what the tape is. This guy's doing electronics in here. The router used to live in this real big spot here, but people can actually come in and set up a shop sort of area, and
Have
that's
their own
yeah,
turf.
That's what these guys are actually doing. This is Jeremy from Biggs working on prototyping stuff for independent contract stuff. Jeremy.
What's
Hey,
up, guys?
how you doing?
Space,
Is somebody modding those bikes, or is that just your transportation
It's
here?
actually a bike sort of
Yeah,
company group thing
Okay.
where everybody gets together, and if you look far back, builds the old 19th century big wheel, just craziness.
Yeah.
They weld up just insane bikes.
got all
pretty
sorts
cool.
of cool stuff back there.
Yeah, this is Rich, who has his own MIT car. This was the MIT
Oh, wow.
race car from 15 years ago, and they bequeathed it to him, and he is rebuilding it from scratch. I don't know what he's going to do with it, drag racing in Somerville or something, but this is his hobby project.
So, can you tell me just a little bit about the business end of why you're.
Oh, it's amazing.